Hey guys, so I just made a video about what it actually means to be in the state of the wish fulfilled. And I was speaking from my own personal experience in that video of how I get to the point where I'm in that right state and what that right state is and what it feels like. For me, it largely involves a rational process. For me, I often try to come up with a lot of different things that would fulfill me, a lot of different possibilities, so that everything isn't riding on one specific thing. I don't flatter myself to think that I have wisdom beyond my higher self or divine intelligence or some other aspect of myself. So I try not to think that I know best about what will fulfill me. That's just me. But basically, to be in the state of the wish fulfilled for me basically means you know it's done and you don't think about it. Those are the two big components. Anytime it comes up, it's done. I don't have to worry about that. That's what it would be like if you actually had it, right? If you actually have a relationship, you don't sit around thinking about it. You don't sit around feeling the lack of it. You don't, all of the emotions that are there when you don't have something are gone when you do have something. So if you want to be in the state where you have it already and then it is created sort of magically in your reality, or you're able to get it in a way that you didn't see before or whatever, you kind of have to figure out a way to stop existing in that state of lack. I gave you my impression on what the right thing is to do there. It's not the Neville Goddard way. It's the Neville Goddess way. It's, come up with a lot of different things that could fulfill you and realize that you're completely fine as you are right now. You're completely fine without the thing you want. You are. If you can get to the point where you understand that fully, all the things of the world just really drop in importance, and you don't live in a state of lack anymore. You just don't. You just kind of live in a constant state of it's done about everything. That's how I live my whole life, and anything that I need or want to happen happens. To be honest with you, putting any kind of technique or anything in front of me has done nothing but slow down anything that I normally would have gotten. Before I read Neville Goddard specifically, and all the techniques that people have come up with Neville Goddard, which miss the boat 99% of the time. So anyway, I'll link to that video. I don't want to rehash the whole thing, but this is an important thing to understand. If you're a Neville Goddard person and you've been coming at the Neville Goddard thing, using the Imaginal acts and all that stuff, you've been trying to do this stuff. 99% of the people that I've seen talking about this, at least more, because I've only ever seen a handful of people that get this. The reason that you do the Imaginal acts, the state akin to sleep, where you come up with a scene that implies that you already have the thing you want, and you feel that that's real, the only reason that you do that is to get you into this state of the wish fulfilled where it's done. And you don't do it to get the thing. This is the thing that everybody's missing. The whole point of the imagination, the whole point of Neville Goddard is for you to understand that this entire thing is coming from you, and that your experience of everything in 3D is within you. There's nothing out here. For all intents and purposes, there's nothing out here. When you experience things in your imagination, they're as real as anything in this reality, truly. Because anything you're experiencing in this reality, you're experiencing in your imagination. You're just using outside things as a prop, as an aid. Everything that happens is in your mind, and you realize this as soon as you truly experience something in your imagination. And I don't think the vast majority of people that are doing this stuff are actually experiencing the thing in their imagination. They're seeing the scene, they're feeling some sensations, but it's not taking on all of the tones of reality, like Neville Goddard says, because here's the thing. It's as real in 4D as it is in 3D. If you experience it in 4D, it's as good or better than experiencing it in 3D, if you're doing it right. And when you realize that the first time you ever have that experience, the things of the 3D world will decrease in their value in your eyes immediately and permanently. because you will understand how fulfilled you can be in your imagination. And that's the whole point. That's why you do these scenes for a few days. If you're doing them right, you won't need to do them any longer than that. It's like, if you love chocolate cake, leave it to me to always make this about food. If you love chocolate cake and you haven't had any chocolate cake in 6 months, and you are just like dying to have a piece of chocolate cake, and you get a cake, right? You have a huge piece of cake. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's amazing, right? It's the best chocolate cake you've ever had. It's so good. Then you have another piece the next night, and it's still really good. And after 4 or 5 days, you know, it's good, but you're satisfied. You've like had, you know, that lack, that desire has been satisfied, and chocolate cake is still good. You still like it, but you know, you're not thinking about it all day. You're not like sitting there all night, every night craving it. It's been satisfied. It gets done. That's the same type of satisfaction that you get when you do these Neville Goddard Imaginal acts fully in the way that does anything. Like most people are doing this is a complete waste of time. The idea is to get you into that state where it feels satisfied, because you know, that's the state of the wish fulfilled. It's satisfaction. When you hit that point of satisfaction, of having experienced the thing in your mind, that's what Neville calls the Sabbath. It's just where you're satisfied, like you're full, you're done. And if you've done it right, you will understand at that point what percentage of it was in you and what percentage of it, you know, was coming from a 3D object. 100% zero. And so at that point, if you still want it, it's like a whatever. And that's the thing, when things are just whatever, when you're completely fine without something, when you realize it's not going to do the things for you that you think it's going to do, if you still have a desire for it, it's easy to get it. Really, you know, you don't do the imaginal stuff to get the thing. You do the imaginal stuff to get the state. The state is what you want from the thing in the first place. The vast majority of people, I'm starting to get it. They're never going to understand this. If you can understand what I just said, then you have the key to the whole entire thing. You know, and for me, the key to the whole entire thing is the real understanding of what 3D material objects can do for you. Like, it's all about you. At the end of the day, you're going to be sitting here, and if you got this thing or that thing, it's not going to greatly change your experience of your day-to-day life. The only thing that is going to do that is a shift in your consciousness, a shift in your worldview, the way you view yourself and the way you view yourself in relation to everything. You know, tweaking that, like there is a way to tune that just right so that you are in a constant state of bliss. I think people refer to this state of, this thing that I talk about was just like this state of peace and bliss that is just like always underlying everything. If you can unblock yourself from feeling it, I think people refer to that as love when they talk about being in a state of love. Like for me, words have certain meanings, you know what I mean? And I think it's that way for everybody. Like, I think I have too heavily associated the word love with romantic love, that it's just not a word that I like to apply to other things, you know, because I was like a big romantic love, like obsessor forever. I just don't like to use it. When I say self-love, I feel like it's like almost like romantically loving myself. So, you know, try to understand what I'm saying. If the word love works for you, it's this you can tweak yourself so that you're just always in this state of peace, and where you're aware of the perfection of yourself and everything else, and where your human self just kind of fades. Your consciousness of your human self becomes unimportant, and you know, 3D things become very unimportant. And you know, tuning towards that is really the only thing that's going to shift you into a better state. You know, getting some money will help. Having a partner is definitely has its benefits over not having one. You know, and of course, being healthy, being in a good state physically. I mean, you're in a body, even if it's an illusion. Not being in pain is preferable to being in pain for me still at this point. So, you know, these things do provide a certain level of, they raise your quality of life to some degree. But I'll say this, since the events of 2020 transpired in my life, which involved meeting my fiance, COVID, obviously, some shifts in some relationships that were going on, and then the crowning glory, which was my dad getting cancer and dying in a kind of spectacular fashion with every chaotic imaginable event associated with it. I've developed sort of some physical issues since then. I gained some weight, which I'm not sure if it had anything to do with this, but I also have had a lot of physical issues since then, specifically like skeletal issues. Like, I have a knee problem, I had a back problem that's much better now, but now I have this like rotator cuff problem, and my neck is killing me. And I've been in near constant, like, low level to moderate pain for a year. And I'm telling you, it doesn't change things all that much. It sucks, but, you know, my worldview is my worldview. My view of myself is my view of myself. And this is just sort of a thing that's there. And it's kind of just a way to channel unhappiness. And when it's gone, I know it'll be gone eventually. When it's gone, things aren't going to be that much different for me, because, you know, how many times do you have to drive around the block before you know the terrain? You know what I mean? The things of the world, even your body, they don't change things that much. The only thing that changes is the things in your mind. That's what changes your experience, your level of happiness and peace and all that stuff. So anyway, I hope that this found the right person at the right time and made sense. Have a great day.